Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something truly profound, the human journey from the ego to absolute spiritual purity. We're going to be exploring the sacred rituals of the Hajj. You see, this is an experience that completely transcends mere travel. It's a meticulously structured progression designed to completely transform the believer. And we're going to break down exactly how this transformation happens, step by step. It's a massive undertaking, right? But to really wrap our heads around the sheer scale of this pilgrimage, we have to understand its structure. It isn't just one long, continuous event. It's actually broken down into exactly 9 sacred stages. And each one of these 9 stages serves a very specific, deliberate purpose in shaping the spiritual state of the person undertaking it. Here's our spiritual roadmap for The Explainer. We'll start with the origins of the journey, then cover shedding worldly status in Ihram, Tawaf and the desperate search, the pivotal day of Arafat, conquering demons at the Jamarat, and finally, achieving total spiritual purity. It's a physical progression that sparks a deep internal metamorphosis. All right, part 1, the origins of the sacred journey, which are deeply rooted in the actions of a prophet. This pilgrimage isn't some modern invention, it's literally a historical tracing. Millions of believers are actually walking in the ancient footprints of Prophet Abraham and his family, connecting their modern devotion directly back to those foundational, profound acts of faith. Moving right along to stage 2, Ihram, shedding worldly status, often referred to as the great equalizer. So, what is Ihram? It's a state of being that completely strips away your worldly status. It's the entry point to this whole 9-stage spiritual journey. The source material explicitly describes this as serving as a symbolic rehearsal for the Day of Judgment. Just pause and think about the gravity of that for a second. By shedding whatever markers of wealth, class, or success you hold in the material world, you are placed on the exact same playing field as every single other person around you. It's a profound equalization meant to prepare the soul for ultimate judgment. Which brings us to stage 3, Tawaf and the desperate search. This is all about moving with devotion, shifting from a state of being into an active physical struggle. The momentum really starts to build here. You got the early stage, the Tawaf around the Kaaba, which flows right into the intense middle stage of running between Safa and Marwa, all pushing relentlessly toward the absolute spiritual peak, standing at Arafat. Let's zoom in on these actions. The first major action here is the Tawaf, which is the circumambulating or circling of the Kaaba. It's a hugely powerful physical embodiment of devotion. It's not passive, It's an active, moving rite that gathers believers together into this massive, unified motion of submission and focus. And then there's the running between Safa and Marwa, which perfectly captures the duality of the Hajj. The physical act of running isn't just exercise. It commemorates a desperately human search for life-saving water. It takes this massive spiritual concept and grounds it in a very real, visceral, human experience of absolute need and faith. Following all that intense movement, we reach stage 4, Arafat, the pivotal day. This is the emotional and spiritual peak. The source specifically highlights the pivotal day of standing at Arafat. Think about that contrast. After all the circling and the running, suddenly you just stand. It's solemn, it's grounded. For the pilgrim, this is where they experience their most profound emotional peak. It's the absolute anchor point of the journey, where the believer stands still and connects entirely with God. But you don't just stay at the peak. Next is the Jamarat and the farewell, where the focus shifts decisively to conquering internal demons. As the journey winds down, there are 2 crucial concluding steps to seal that internal transformation: stoning the Jamarat and the farewell circumambulation. Let's look at why these are so significant. Stoning the Jamarat is incredibly symbolic. It signifies the ultimate decisive rejection of temptation. It's an active, physical conquering of your own internal demons. You're not just passively avoiding bad choices, you are literally, physically rejecting them. After that intense rejection of temptation, believers perform the farewell circumambulation. It serves as the final physical rite. It's a really graceful, beautiful way of bringing the physical journey to a close, effectively bookending the entire experience before the believer goes back to their daily life. And that leads us to our final section, achieving total spiritual purity, the ultimate transformation. When you look at the big picture, All these ancient physical actions, putting on the Ihram, the Tawaf, the desperate search of Safa and Marwa, standing at Arafat and stoning the Jamarat, they all fuse together into a singular, profoundly transformative process. The whole point of this journey is to return the believer to a state of complete spiritual purity and to achieve total submission to God. It is, quite literally, a total reset for the human soul. So, keeping in mind how that very first step, Ihram, strips away the ego and all societal markers to reveal the pure soul underneath for the Day of Judgment, consider this for yourself. If your worldly status, your titles, your wealth, and your daily identity were suddenly removed today, what would truly be left? It's a pretty fascinating question to chew on. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I hope it helped illuminate the incredible depth behind these sacred 9 stages.